Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have two very different combo depths. Rodney on Dragon versus Tyler on Ant. Now, Rodney actually top-aided, leaving a legacy open with this list, really capturing people's imaginations with this mono black reanimator, as it gives you the ability to play a busted combo deck on really kind of a budget. I mean, this is mono black, and Rodney kind of building this very creatively. And I mean, budget is a consideration for this build. I mean, this is all, kind of like early days of Magic where you kind of set your sights on something that you can make happen, and budget is a consideration. And he has done incredibly well with it. Unmask, taking out either Ad Nauseam or Dark Ritual. We had Thoughtseize from Tyler's side of the table. Both decks firing discarded each other. Unmask, of course, a free discard spell, and Lotus Petal now hitting the table. Dark Ritual was taken. 4 of this Ad Nauseam deck is going to be fast mana, and now the Ad Nauseam taken. Now, if Tyler was able to cast Ad Nauseam, he would just be winning the game on the spot in all likelihood. Dragon not going to have any interaction on Tyler's turn. Ad Nauseam just essentially drawing much as you need to win the game. Very rarely will you fumble from almost full life. This Petal, LED on Tyler's board means if he draws any type of business, things could get ugly very, very quickly for Rodney. Rodney's side of the board, he has Gyre Reach Sanitarium, which means if he does get World Gorger Dragon and an Animate, it will just win the game. He will draw through his entire deck on each iteration, have infinite black mana. Again, not too much Tyler will be able to do about that. This is throwing wild haymakers, somebody hoping to connect. It's like the World Gorger Dragon making its way into the bin off of the Gyre Reach Sanitarium. I'm a little confused by the timing on that, however. That really feels like the type of thing that should have been done during the end step. Perhaps Rodney was digging for a Unmask or Grief, but that extra card draw, probably not worth it. And we've got a bunch of mana. There's already a Past in Flames in the bin. And I believe this should do it. Got a bunch of mana. I don't know if we're going to see an Ad Nauseam or if there were any tutors in there. Double Dark Ritual. Plenty of Storm. Triple Ritual. Enjoy seeing Tyler's build of this. Some beautiful card choices. Royal Japanese cards. Here's the Ad Nauseam. It's almost certainly game over for Rodney. Infernal Tutor. Does need another Lion's Eye Diamond, though. Infernal's not actually going to do it on its own. Oh, there's the Wishclaw Talisman. That'll certainly do it on its own. Wishclaw and Tendrils of Agony for the win, as Ant picks up game number 1. See what Dragon can do with the play in game 2, and we'll see what sideboard options. A lot of Dragon is kind of built to sidestep graveyard hate, but I don't know if that'll be fast enough versus a deck like Ant. Even if you bring in a card like Rotting Regisaur and can ritual it out on the first turn, I don't know that that's actually going to be good enough to beat an ad nauseum deck. Of course, the ad nauseum deck also does use its graveyard quite a bit, as we saw with Past in Flames in that last game, and then also to a lesser degree with Cabal Ritual being supercharged once you have Threshold. 2 mana to get 5 black actually makes it the best ritual in the deck once it's running. Of course, Dark Ritual is more consistent than Cabal Ritual, but in Ant, Cabal Ritual certainly has a home. It can also let you play through things like Thalia or even Trinisphere at times. I've had Trinispheres on board and just plowed right through it thanks to the power of Cabal Ritual. Thoughtseize. They're doing his worst here. See, looks like a Lion's Eye Diamond now. There's our animate. So Entomb in response to the Thoughtseize, and now an animate off the top. Gonna get a Gristlebrand. A7, draw 7. Drawing 14 cards. Thanks to Animate Dead. Of course, Animate Dead with World Gorger Dragon would just be game over on the spot. Lotus Petal into some Dark Rituals. Plenty of black mana now. And now we've got a Cabal Therapy. Takes a look at Tyler's hand and sees nothing that's going to save him. A dangerous hand, to be sure. Brainstorm would probably help smooth that out a bit. There's a lot of redundancy there. Oh, wow. Cabal Therapy hitting World Gorger Dragon. So, Cabal Therapy, the first one targeting Tyler, sacrificing Gristlebrand. Because you know what? Why have a Gristlebrand when you can have a World Gorger Dragon? Cabal Therapy gets the World Gorgers out of Rodney's hands, allowing for infinite mana and winning the game on the spot. That is crazy. So for those unfamiliar, you're going to be able to get a Una Queen of the Fae into play and sink all of the mana you want into her activated ability, exiling your opponent's deck. That is one easy way to win. Also, you can win with Piranha Marsh. It's recurring ETBs from Piranha Marsh actually just wins the game on its own. Just 1 damage or 1 life loss at a time. For those unfamiliar with World Gorger Dragon, pull that up. As you can see, World Gorger Dragon has a whole ton of text on it, but basically, if you're using an enchantment like Animate Dead or Dance of the Dead to return it, also Necromancy is another option. But anyways, an enchantment that returns it from the battlefield to the battlefield from the graveyard, and then World Gorger would remove that enchantment, then sending World Gorger back to the graveyard, which then returns the enchantment, and that's your loop. Every time that loop happens, you get all of your ETBs trigger from all of your permanents that are entering the battlefield, and your lands come in untapped, typically allowing you to tap them for mana, meaning every iteration gets you more and more mana. If your opponent doesn't have any way of interrupting that, you're basically able to create infinite mana and win a number of ways. Gyre Reach Sanitarium, also a game winner. Worth noting, even if you have just a single Gyre Reach, first you can create infinite mana, and then you can loot. Not like you have to have Gyre Reach and 2 lands. Literally just a singleton Gyre Reach is going to get you there. Now we've got a Grief going after Tyler's hand. He's already been able to fire off a Duress. Has a Lion's Eye Diamond on board. And we see Surgical Extraction, Brainstorm, and Cabal Ritual. Surgical Extraction, Potent Graveyard Hate. With a Lotus Petal into a Reanimate. So he's going with kind of a Delver plan here. Grabbing the Brainstorm. Oh, perhaps not. This hand, kind of a problem. Tyler could draw lots of things that would be a actual kill. I think he's going to end up taking the Brainstorm here and just praying the top of the deck doesn't help him out. This is still dangerous. Grief is not a spectacular clock here. 3 damage a turn. Nothing to really synergize with this. If you had... Wow. You got an Unmask. You got Dark Ritual and Cabal Ritual. Leaving Cabal Ritual. Tyler playing the Volcanic Island. Actually don't love that. Possible Lion's Eye Diamond making you discard that land could end up being helpful. Could end up netting you an extra mana. Even more if you've got the ability to recur the Cabal Ritual. Wow. More discard piling on. Just 3 damage at a time. Completely shredding Ant's hand. Oh, but they've top decked it ad nauseum. And I wish I had the life totals here. This is going to end right now. Tyler's going to draw enough cards to either win the game or kill himself. You are not going to pass the turn in this situation. You'll get low enough that passing the turn would just be lethal from this grief. Now, it is worth noting that the there we go. The ad nauseum wouldn't be in the graveyard until it resolves, but flipping a Tendrils off the bat, absolute garbage, as Tyler's deck betrays him with that ad nauseum, gives him a glimmer of hope, giving him 5 mana to cast an ad nauseum and delivering it up off the top of the deck, and then snatching any hope of victory by dealing massive, massive life loss to him with cards that cannot help him against Rodney's incoming grief.